Okay, in this video presentation, we are now ready to identify the types of researches according to the choice of answers to questions, starting with evaluation research. So to discuss evaluation research, let us assume we have this example. So the respondents in our evaluation research, or the example of evaluation research presented here, the respondents would be our grade 8 students. And then the grade 8 students would be subdivided into 3 groups or sections. Section A, Section B, and Section C. Okay? Now, they have a topic in Research 2 dealing with quantitative research. So, meaning to say, Section A, so the respondents in Section A, they were subjected, okay, or taught with an instructional method using the traditional face-to-face. So, by the way, what do we mean by the symbol X? So, X means that it is our independent variable. Now, in this case scenario, the independent variable would be the teaching method. So, it will be the variable that varies. Okay, it will be the variable that will be manipulated. So, in Section A, they were subjected to the teaching method of traditional face-to-face. The respondents, however, in Section B, was subjected under the teaching method modular. While in Section C, okay, the respondents in Section C were subjected under the teaching method ICT approach or online. Now, in our evaluation research, the pre-test, okay, so O sub 1 means pre-test, okay, so the pre-test gave the following average results. For Section A, it yielded an average score or result of 80, while in Section B, it yielded an average score or result of 85. While in Section C, it yielded an average pre-test score of 92. Okay? And after some thorough assessment, there was a post-test. So, O2, okay, O sub 2 means post-test. Okay? It means post-test. So, Section A, after taking the post-test assessment, it yielded an average post-test score of 96, which is much higher than the pre-test score of 80. While in Section B, it yielded, okay, a post-test average score of 89. Now, this post-test average score of 89 is somewhat higher than the average pre-test score. Okay? In Section C, it yielded an average post-test score of 90, which is lower than the average pre-test score. Okay? So, using this example, okay, using this data, which do you think is the most effective instructional method? Is it traditional face-to-face? Is it modular? Or is it ICT approach or online? Obviously, it was the traditional face-to-face. Why? Because it yielded a much higher post-test score than the pre-test score. Okay? And also, it is the highest score among all the average post-test score. So, meaning to say, traditional face-to-face, so we can conclude that the traditional face-to-face is the most effective approach or method in teaching the topic quantitative research in the subject research 2. Now, given this example, how do we define evaluation research? So, in evaluation research, okay, in evaluation research, we try or you evaluate. And when we say evaluate, you make judgments to determine which method is the most effective or advantageous. Okay? So, in evaluation research, you evaluate which is the most efficient, most effective, okay, most advantageous out of all the independent variable of method. Okay? In this kind of research, also, all possible courses of actions, so these possible courses of actions were actually the teaching method, or the X, or the independent variable. Okay? So in evaluation research, all possible courses of actions are specified and identified. So the researchers will try to identify all the possible methods that can be used. And then the researcher will try to evaluate or compare it with one another, to which of these possible courses of actions would be the most advantageous. So after the researchers have laid down all the possible methods, the researcher will now try to evaluate which is the most advantageous or which is the most effective. So that is the main essence of evaluation research. Okay? So now we are ready to proceed to the another type of research according to the choice of answers to questions, which is the developmental research.